And I want to thank you and Ranking Member Collins to commend you for your unwavering commitment to our seniors. Through your leadership in this committee, it's been an honor to be part of this committee. And I want to thank you and your staff for helping on the field hearing we had in Indianapolis this summer in regards to this very subject of scamming seniors. The cooperation, the assistance, the information we got was I don't know if the word is scary or alarming or something that the message that everybody should take away of how vulnerable our seniors are. Our state alone registered almost 25,000 cases of fraud and almost 4,000 cases of identity theft in our state, almost a $2,000 average on each one. Mr. Toucher, I wanted to ask you, in regards to, you talked a little bit about your monitoring systems to spot potential fraud. At what point does your systems first flag a transaction as possibly suspicious?
Well, there's really a series of places that does it. Clearly, at the point of sale, there are both limits and frequency checks. So if someone's attempting to load money that's over and above the amount that we've set up as a limit, there's a flag. If they're attempting in a store to frequently load money, or multiple people are, our average store today doesn't sell multiple of these reloaded chips a day. So when we see activity at that level, we literally move in to alert the store. At a certain level, we'll shut the store down entirely and take it out of that business. So that's the first line of attack. With our new safe system, we're able to watch the money as it's sitting in the safe, if you will. It's not the money, but if the reloaded processes, it's sitting at the safe, and track it through that process. What the customer does to it, of course, gives the customer a lot more control on what they do. And then, of course, as the money moves on to different cards. So there's a series of different steps where the systems are monitoring what's going on and setting up alerts. Probably one of the most successful things that we've been able to do, again, I'm sure Mr. Rollins and Mr. Street have done the same thing, is something not talked about today, is our distribution stores were suffering a lot of fraud. And that fraud began to peak this year and go down substantially because we were able to set up alerts and turn stores off. And that was fraud where, as an example, a store manager would be called at night and told by a fraudster to load a bunch of cards up and give them the numbers, and he was calling from corporate to do a test. And they would go off and do that. And a lot of money would be stolen in that regard. And we've managed with some of these limits as an example to pretty well eliminate that or really shut it down. So the whole fraud tracking barrier thing that we all are attempting to do is a science. It's one that sort of moves. You have to keep understanding what the fraudster's doing and then constantly checking. The good news is that we have, on a real-time basis, we're hooked to the point-of-sale transaction on a real-time basis. We're hooked to the loading transaction on a real-time basis. We're hooked to the usage of the GPR transactions on a real-time basis. So we really have sight into all of this.
Do you rely at all on the expertise or the ability of the person who's working at the store, or is it all computer-driven, that the computer algorithms pick
No,
up?
we've done just what has been talked about before. We spent a lot of time and energy educating the store personnel, literally have created videos for store training. I brought along an example of something we've done here recently that was a pretty big step for us, actually. We took this sign, which not only talks about the fraud, but spells out the kinds of fraud that's currently, and we've now posted it literally on the racks that carry these cards. So sitting on the rack is this large sign that says, read this, this is the kind of things that you should be aware of. We've done the same thing on the website, and in these systems, or the usage of these cards, people often go to the website. So there's clearly an opportunity here to use our websites, to use our point of sale, and to use our people in the store to get them educated. As Steve said, one of the real problems here is that sometimes the person who's been defrauded will sit and argue with a store person who's trying to talk them out of doing it. It's really a sad situation.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you run different operations. When you get together, do you ever talk about best practices or what has been most successful for you in reducing fraud or in protecting our seniors? Obviously, there's industry conferences and stuff, but you know, there's proprietary computer systems and other things. Do some of you have a product that you look up and go, oh my God, this has worked so much better for us this year? Will you work with others on getting that through, as it's not so much a competitive advantage as it is just protecting your customers.
Sure. There's ongoing dialogue to that end today. We share best practices. There are industry initiatives that promote the collaboration and the sharing of information and the development of best practices. So yes, sir, that's a resounding yes that we will share. You know, we'd like to have ongoing dialogue with this committee for the same end, because my fear is we're going to move this issue from this portion of prepaid somewhere else in another financial services product. And we need to find that where it lands and then prepare to defend that area as well.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.